On February 15th, there are new reporting rules that kick in that directly affect those silver stackers in Canada. And, you know, what goes in one place, happens in one place, does not stay there. So it's important for all of us to be aware of. Dealers will be required to report large cash transactions, which they already are in the U.S., verify identities more aggressively, and flag anything they consider unusual. So it doesn't actually make silver illegal, but it does mean the privacy that stackers have relied on is being eroded. The Bank of Canada holds zero gold, not a single ounce in reserve. That means that if confidence in the currency slips or the financial system hits turbulence, the government has no hard asset buffer of its own.
Canada's new February 15 reporting rules are raising concern among precious metals investors, particularly silver stackers. Dealers will now face stricter identity verification requirements, mandatory reporting of large cash transactions, and expanded authority to flag unusual activity. While silver ownership remains legal, financial privacy is clearly tightening. As Lynette Zang has often warned, regulatory shifts rarely stay isolated. What begins in one country can spread globally. Notably, the Bank of Canada holds zero gold reserves, leaving no hard asset buffer if currency confidence weakens. In an era of rising financial surveillance, many investors see physical silver as both protection and tangible wealth security. Now, we present the clips from Lynette Zang interview. Before we continue to discuss this, please subscribe to our channel and activate the bell icon for timely updates. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
Gold and silver in any form is monetary at its base. So once you become clear that the true fundamental value of an ounce of gold at this moment, before more money printing, is somewhere between $38,000 and $40,000, and the true fundamental value of an ounce of silver before they do anything else is somewhere between $1,800 and $2,000, then if I paid $350 for it, what difference did it make? Right? Just like my necklace that you see me wear that I bought back in 1987 when I first moved here for $350. You know, and the latest appraisal was $6,500. Just the gold content weight, I turned it off. Give me a zero. Just the gold content weight of that is 1.6 ounces. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not that gold is going up. It's the value of the dollar going down. And gold and silver in any form will hold your purchasing power intact. It's the way that you hold it and the variety of ways that you can hold it. So the strategy isn't switching mints or crossing borders. It's stepping into forms of metals that give you insulation, privacy, and control, no matter what jurisdiction you're standing in. So now I'm going to go to, I need the slides up, because Daniel Mastrocco last week said, I'm curious what the 5 gold confiscations in the U.S. government has done. Google doesn't provide the results. Maybe you can make a short video on that. And that's what I'm doing. So these are, and actually when I went back and I kind of looked at the definition, again, I'm wrong, right? It's not 5 times, it's 7 times. And I'm also not just looking at the overt confiscations, but the currency revaluations. And I didn't have those in my list. The two, oh, did I say this? The 2 that happened in 1973, the first one in January, which was just under 10% revaluation, and the one in February that was just over a 10% revaluation. They did it in measured strokes so that you and I, well, those of us that were around then, didn't really notice it too much, except I can tell you, I remember the inflation that was happening during that period of time a lot, something about 45%. So I think it just missed the hyperinflation definition of 50%. But here they are. In 1812, contracts that were invalidated and the mints were closed. In the 1860s, the government went further by physically confiscating gold and voiding private contracts. In 33, citizens were forced to surrender their gold, and in 34, the government revalued it overnight, capturing 40% of the public's wealth with a single stroke. And guess what? Based on all the money that they created up to 33, they should have done it to 42.22, but they knew that the public wouldn't be able to tolerate it. So we started out, even after the revaluations, in a deficit. In 1971, convertibility for other governments was cut off entirely. That was a Bretton Woods default. And, I never really thought about it as a confiscation, but it was totally a confiscation because foreign governments that were holding their gold here with the promise that they could exchange dollars for gold anytime they wanted, that was the default. Right? Because we said, nope, you can't do it anymore, which means that the U.S. confiscated the global gold. And by 73, that gold was revalued twice more.
Gold and silver remain monetary assets at their core, preserving purchasing power as currencies lose value. While headline prices fluctuate, many analysts argue true fundamental valuations are far higher when measured against expanding money supply. History reinforces this reality. The U.S. has enacted 7 major gold-related confiscations or revaluations since 1812, including the 1933 Citizen Gold Surrender, the 1934 Overnight 40% Revaluation, and the 1971 Bretton Woods default that halted foreign convertibility. Additional dollar devaluations followed in 1973. These measured currency resets quietly transferred wealth while inflation surged. Holding physical gold and silver offers insulation, privacy, and long-term monetary stability. Let's get back to the interview.
I can't say that confiscation is happening. And again, Canada has never overtly confiscated gold or silver. But structurally, the pressure increases when the state has none and citizens have plenty. And I want you to just remember that the transition that we're in right now, that reset from this one system into the new system, well, we've never really gone through this before. This is different than when we went through the transition from a gold standard to a debt standard in 1971 because they need to reinvigorate the entire fiat currency system. And what they really have to do is they have to do that overnight revaluation because gold is the most trusted collateral without any counterparty risk. So keep it in mind. And it has been happening here in the U.S. for a very long time. Having said that, I want to let everybody know that at this point in time, we are not legally obligated to report any part of the transaction. This would be true on American Eagles. It's 100% true on the collectibles. So just keep that in mind here in the U.S. But what do they want to do? They want to digitize everything so that it could be used for collateral and they could track everything, the buys and the sells. This is why we have to come together on a global basis and demand our rights back. Because otherwise, we're slaves. That's it. We're slaves. You have to ask yourself, is that okay with me? If it is, don't worry about it. If it's not, then come together and let's get redeemable gold back in the system. Okay, Mr. Petteroni 1 asked, is it possible for gold bullion to be confiscated even if you hold it in a different jurisdiction? As a Canadian holding American Eagles instead of Maples, does that reduce the risk or might be a good exit plan? And, I get this question a lot, whether holding gold or silver in another jurisdiction or in another jurisdiction's form protects them from restrictions at home. And the truth is this. Governments regulate based on citizenship and residency, not the mint or the stamp on your coins. So if a country ever imposed controls on bullion, it wouldn't matter whether you held Maple Leafs, Eagles, Philharmonics, or anything else that is bullion. Bars, bullion is bullion, and holding it offshore doesn't eliminate the authority your home country has over its citizens' financial assets, let alone holding it in your country, just a different form of gold, American Eagle versus Canadian Maple Leaf. But you know what? Here's the real takeaway. Because history shows that when governments tighten control, they target the monetary metals, not the collectibles. That's why our sound money strategy is based on the collectibles market. But I just finished a video, I don't know when it'll be coming out, on the different ways that you can hold gold and silver, which is why you see all of this stuff here on the table. And I want to remind you, yeah, you can stack bars and you can stack bullion, you can stack all of that, but you can also have a very diversified portfolio that includes what we could hold even when you couldn't. So the collectibles of all kinds, right? They have layers of protection that bullion coins do not have. That's why it's critically important for everybody to understand the true fundamental value. How much is this stuff really worth in terms of dollars or euros or wherever you happen to be in the world, in terms of that currency? What's its true value? Because that's where it's going.
As global monetary systems face potential reset pressures, concerns about gold confiscation and capital controls are resurfacing. While Canada has never overtly confiscated gold or silver, history shows governments regulate based on citizenship and residency, not the mint stamped on bullion. Offshore storage or holding American Eagles instead of Maple Leafs may not eliminate regulatory authority. During past monetary crises, governments targeted bullion as monetary metal, while certain collectibles received different treatment. With increasing digitization and surveillance of financial assets, many investors are diversifying how they hold gold and silver. Understanding true fundamental value and jurisdictional risk is essential for long-term wealth protection. Share your thoughts on his analysis in the comments section below. If you find this video informative, please support us by turning on notifications to stay informed about our latest videos. See you in the following video. Thanks for watching.